Right, hey guys, how are we doing? Back with another video from 6, and today we're checking out Naruto versus Hashirama. Interesting one, this. Surely at the end of the series, like, Naruto is definitely, like, you know, stronger than Hashirama, but Hashirama's a bit of a big deal. So let's see where this video goes, shall we? Very intrigued.
Both reincarnates of Ashura, both would become Hokage during their lifetime, both with an insane healing factor, and both known as insanely powerful with the ability to control or tame Biju. We're talking about Hashirama versus Naruto. Narratively, this battle has very little weight. These are both protagonists in the story, and they have no real need to fight each other, but that does not stop them from being compared to one another. Some people think Hashirama isn't strong enough to take on KCM2 Naruto, and some people think Hashirama and Madara would have done better against Jigen or Ishiki than Naruto and Sasuke. Whichever side of the debate you're on, I think we can all agree there is some point in the series that this becomes an interesting or contentious fight. Despite mentioning that both of them became Hokage at the start of the video, I'm not going to be covering Hokage Naruto versus Hashirama in this video.
Okay.
I think there's an abundance of videos that make it crystal clear who would win that fight.
Yes.
Most people obviously favoring Naruto.
Yeah.
This video is going to focus
I
on
feel like that was definitely how it would go.
before and after he learns to use Sage Mode along with the form, and Hashirama in Sage Mode and base form in his alive body. Since Naruto has no known sealing jutsu, it'd be pretty unfair for me to put him up against an Edo Tensei. If you enjoy this type of content, you should leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. I have a ton of other versus battles on my channel you can check out after this one.
He does.
But let's start off with the first Hokage, Hashirama. For starters, Hashirama is outright stated to be the strongest shinobi of his era, and possibly of all time up until the War Arc, with multiple guides saying as much. The anniversary guide, for example, states that base Hashirama's body was
when he was summoned with the Edo Tensei by Orochimaru, then he just like, oh no wait, wasn't that his... I was going to say, like, just his presence just shook the room in it, but I think that was Tobirama, wasn't it?
Much attention to the specifics of how they compared to each other. While they were close overall, Hashirama was the winner between the two, and Madara even acknowledged him as the only shinobi capable of defeating him.
Yeah.
Hashirama in
base
was physically fast and strong enough to keep up with EMS Madara during their fight in the Final Valley, and later on when Hashirama was revived as an Edo Tensei, close in strength to when he was alive as stated by Tobirama, he was still capable of clashing with and dodging Edo Madara.
Which is crazy.
Hashirama's physical showings don't stop there in terms of speed. Hashirama in base was also capable of dodging attacks from Madara's majestic attire Susanoo, and keeping up with Tobirama in taijutsu and travel speed during their fight with Hiruzen as severely nerfed Edos in part 1.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
He may think Tobirama have been the fastest shinobi of their era, so that just goes to show how, while it might not be too obvious upon first glance, Hashirama is one of the physically strongest characters during the war.
Yeah.
It also should be noted, Hashirama is portrayed to be superior to Tobirama in virtually every other area, especially power. You see this on full display in the War Arc whenever Tobirama threatens Sasuke and the rest of Team Heavy, and Hashirama is able to make Tobirama cut down to him with nothing but a glance.
Right, that's the moment I was talking about, yeah.
The strongest shinobi because of his physical power. The Anniversary Guide and 4th Data Book also attribute part of his reputation to his Kekkei Genkai wood style. With wood style, Hashirama can use a wide variety of techniques that range
the wood style that he
uses
is insane.
Barriers, making clones, or even more advanced uses like his wood constructs. Wood style also gives Hashirama a big advantage against Naruto here due to his natural ability to suppress and absorb chakra, including from tailed beasts.
Okay, yeah.
Some of these include deep forest emergence, which Hashirama can use to create a large forest in an instant, and he can even restrain enemies while doing so, or use the forest to deflect and guide attacks. This is something he even implied he could do to a tailed beast bomb from the Ten Tails during the war while using a wood clone. Hashirama can use wood style to spam clones to assist him in battle like Naruto, and when used by Madara, they were even strong enough to use powerful techniques like his Susanoo. Hashirama, like Madara, is also skilled enough with this ability to make flowers with deep forest bloom, which can secrete pollen capable of knocking an enemy unconscious.
It's got so much going on.
Hashirama can also use wood style defensively with his 5-hand technique to create giant hands that are so strong they can even stop slashes from Madara's majestic attire Susanoo. Like I said before, wood style can also be used to create animated constructs like Hashirama's wood dragons and wood golem. With his wood dragons, Hashirama can bind and restrain opponents, and even hurt them in the process like he did to Kurama. When used by Edomadara,
Crazy.
just one wood dragon was enough to deal with KCM2 Naruto and his Kurama avatar, even sucking away most of his chakra.
This is
Hashirama
very
can also
interesting to
use
note.
multiple dragons, so he can potentially use this ability on an even higher scale than Madara. The wood golem is also incredibly strong, being able to keep up with full Kurama and Madara's armored Susanoo at the same time. And when Hashirama used this technique in Sage Mode, he was capable of taking Edo Madara's perfect Susanoo. Hashirama also has the ability to use Sage Mode, which drastically increases his strength and those of his techniques, like which is stated in the data book numerous times, but Hashirama gets his own specific statement for this in data book 4, which could indicate his Sage Mode is a bigger boost than the others we've seen in the franchise, but it's likely just the data book being redundant and telling us that he gets a stat buff like everyone else.
Fair.
This gives Hashirama the basic expanded sensory abilities we see in other sages, as well as access to a few much stronger wood style techniques. In Sage Mode, Hashirama can use the
Here we
gates,
go.
which was so powerful they could restrain Edo Madara and the Ten Tails. Side note, I know Hashirama used the Deity Gates on Edo Madara in base form, but this just sort of implies he can wield Senjutsu in just his base form, which is extremely impressive and even backed up later on. When Madara goes to steal Hashirama's Senjutsu after being revived by Obito, he takes Senjutsu from a base form Hashirama, and that's when we see the Sage Mode appear on the Hashirama face in his chest. With the Deity Gates, Hashirama could potentially pin down Naruto and win the fight pretty easily.
Damn, yeah,
unless
okay,
Naruto
whoa.
invades the gates. Hashirama in Sage Mode is also capable of using true several thousand hands
Oh my
technique,
god, what a
commonly
technique.
referred to
Jesus
as
Christ.
Buddha. This statue was so powerful, it was able to clash with and overpower Madara's majestic attire Susanoo and a volley of his tailed beast bombs. The statue also has the ability to suppress chakra of the tailed beast with a single touch, and the databook even emphasizes that Hashirama developed this technique to fight tailed beasts. With this
Right, so he's going in fully prepared.
Or his Kurama avatar, and potentially render Kurama unconscious as he's done in the past. The databook also mentions that this technique is so powerful, it breaks its own hands when throwing punches. Hashirama isn't just renowned for his strength, but also
What?
his unparalleled
Jesus
healing factor.
Christ.
Hashirama has a unique genetic ability that, along with his naturally high chakra reserves,
It's so
allows him
powerful
to
it
heal
breaks its own
almost any
fists.
The databook and Madara even indicate that his healing factor is superior to people like Tsunade and Sakura's Yin Seal, which can even regrow organs and limbs. Madara also implies that this tenacity could lead to one conclusion, that Hashirama was a superior shinobi to him and virtually everyone else around. Hashirama has also displayed impressive stamina, being able to fight for days on end. This means simply damaging or hurting Hashirama will not be enough for Naruto.
No, you gotta take him
In order to
down,
kill
man.
Hashirama, Naruto will need to brutally overpower him. Hashirama also displays other notable skills, with the databook indicating he was an expert in ninjutsu, taijutsu, and genjutsu, along with wood style. Hashirama is capable of using all 7 basic chakra natures.
He's got everything going on.
Wielding multiple giant blades against Madara, and he can even use some genjutsu like the Bringer of Darkness technique. So
Whoa.
overall, Hashirama is an absolute monster in the verse, and up until Jubito shows up, he remains uncontested as the top dog. So with that out of the way, let's get into how Naruto compares
Yeah, man,
to
let's do
Hashirama.
this. This is gonna
As
be
I'm sure
really
most people
interesting.
would agree, any Naruto before the war arc would clearly and easily lose to Hashirama.
Oh, yeah, I'll
while
take that.
Any version of Naruto from after the war arc would clearly be able to beat
Yes,
Hashirama.
definitely.
So that leaves us the question of, how does Naruto compare to Hashirama during the war arc?
Interesting, let's
To answer
go.
that, we'll start off with KCM1 Naruto and work our way up to 6 paths Naruto.
Cool.
When Naruto first unlocks Kurama Chakra Mode, or KCM, he's definitely not a pushover, which is emphasized by the fact that he carried the Shinobi Alliance during the early stages
Yes,
of the
he
war,
did.
while stronger than ever before. However, he's definitely nowhere near Hashirama's level at this point. KCM1 Naruto is only about as strong as EMS Sasuke, with them keeping up with one another against the Ten Tails and unstable Jubito, with multiple characters like Minato and Tobirama noting what a great duo the pair make. This would be enough to say Naruto loses, since Madara, who Hashirama can beat, is stated to be much stronger than EMS Sasuke numerous times, even while in Edo Tensei. This is told to us by numerous characters like Orochimaru and Madara himself, as well as the 4th databook and some Ninja Storm 4 extras if you're into that stuff. Naruto also has no answer for Hashirama's wood style at this point, and probably
No answer for it at all, I love that.
At this stage, So Hashirama could easily just beat Naruto up at this stage.
This is crazy. All right, cool.
It doesn't really matter. This fight becomes a lot closer when Naruto bonds with Kurama and unlocks KCM2, Kurama's full power, which gives Naruto access to almost as much chakra as Sage Hashirama. While Edo Madara was capable of keeping up with attacks from KCM2 Naruto, and it stated that Naruto needed Kurama's full power just to fight him, he still displays superiority in some areas, with the databook even calling KCM2 Naruto and Kurama the strongest two-man cell. In terms of travel speed, KCM2 Naruto was fast enough to intercept Obito and Madara's attacks from across the battlefield, which from Madara Susanoo are implied to be faster than his regular attacks. This is also supported by the comparison made between KCM2 Naruto and Minato by Kakashi and Guy, who in terms of travel speed or body flicker is faster than Hashirama and Tobirama.
Right.
While Madara was an Edo Tensei in this fight, Naruto also wasn't at full capacity, as evidenced by his wispy cloak and the fact that later on he was able to floor Blind Sage Madara and Susanoo, who is stated to be roughly around the same level as back when he had the EMS. However, it should be noted that while Naruto does showcase superiority to Edo Madara in some instances, he wasn't skilled enough to capitalize on many of his advantages within the fight, which led to an eventual stalemate. With that being said, it's fair to say KCM2 Naruto could definitely keep up with and even outrun base Hashirama. Hashirama can still weaken and overwhelm him with wood style like Madara did, and he should still be superior to KCM2 Naruto to some degree when using Sage Mode. However, this changes once Naruto starts using Biju Sage Mode. Like Hashirama,
so
Naruto
cool.
has also mastered Sage Mode and in Biju Sage Mode, or BSM for short, and he also becomes much faster and stronger, albeit on a much larger scale, since for this form he converts Kurama's chakra to Sage chakra. While Naruto was already approaching Hashirama's level in KCM2, he arguably exceeded it in Biju Sage Mode.
Right.
Unlike Hashirama and Madara, who immediately admitted inferiority to unstable Jubito, Biju Sage Mode Naruto was able to begin to keep up with a full power Jubito, and presented a significant threat to him alongside Sasuke, who was amped up by the curse mark and Naruto's own chakra. While Hashirama and Madara were Edo Tensei when this was stated, as I said before, the Edo nerf is insignificant, so this wouldn't really change anything about how they compare to Jubito, especially since he wasn't at full power. Biju Sage Mode Naruto, while also being faster than KCM2 Naruto, also keeps up with KCM Minato after he snaps out of his daze. And as I said before, base Minato is already faster than Hashirama to some degree.
Yeah.
So ultimately, this would be the strongest form of Naruto that Hashirama could defeat. After this, Hashirama gets power clipped terribly.
Yeah,
Once
it's
Naruto
huge now, isn't it?
Sage Mode, he reaches a completely different level.
Yeah, he does.
And completely eclipses Hashirama. Even in
It's crazy, isn't it? Like, up to that point, yeah, and then it's like, oh, you're out.
Arguably performing better than 8th Gate Guy. The databook also tells us base 6 Pass Naruto had too much chakra to be affected by Madara's Truth Seeker Orbs, so he honestly wouldn't even need his chakra cloak to beat up Hashirama. As a side note, if Naruto beating up a Madara who absorbed the Ten Tails doesn't make it clear he would beat Hashirama, then I don't know what would. While Naruto's arsenal isn't as wide as Hashirama's, and he'd be at a disadvantage against Wood Style, he still has ways to win. Like Hashirama, Naruto can spam shadow clones, and his fighting style at each point in the series seems to rely on using them along with his Rasengan and Rasen Shuriken, which he can make stronger with his different forms. The Rasengan is Naruto's signature jutsu, and when used in KCM, Naruto has multiple different ones he can use in various situations.
Yeah, loads of different variations
This
of it.
includes Master Rasengan, which even used in base form with some help from Kurama, were enough to stop the advance of Edo Madara's Deep Forest emergence. Naruto can also spawn smaller Rasengan around larger ones with his
Which is just
orbital
mental.
Rasengan, or use his chakra arms to drag enemies into his Rasengan. Naruto can also amplify the force and cutting power of his Rasengan by imbuing them with wind style. This could also potentially help him repel many of Hashirama's wood style jutsu. Naruto's much more advanced Rasen Shuriken can also be used at a long range, and when thrown by KCM2 Naruto was able to move along KM1 Lee, who blitzed at
So
a
that's some
Madara.
speed.
Though I do acknowledge that you can make some arguments that Madara just didn't care to get hit in this specific scenario. Naruto and KCM can also spawn chakra arms to create Rasen shurikens, even miniature ones with just his fingertips. Kurama's chakra also allows Naruto to use a wide variety of different abilities, while also bolstering his original ones alongside his speed and strength. In KCM, Naruto uses so much chakra and runs so fast that it appears like he's always using body flicker. Naruto
Wow,
also
okay, yeah,
possesses
that...
the healing factor, and while
If it looks like you're
probably
constantly
not as
flicking,
busted as
that's...
Hashirama's, he still has been shown to be capable of healing significant injuries with small amounts of chakra from Kurama. He can also fight for days on end due to his large chakra reserves like Hashirama. While the chakra is beneficial to Naruto and Hashirama can absorb it, it may be disadvantageous to do so, as Yamato implies Kurama's chakra acts like a poison due to his hatred.
Ah, so like if you're absorbing it, you're actually like doing yourself a disservice there.
Even after he softens up. Naruto in KCM 2 also has the ability to use the Kurama avatar or just parts of it. And while he was losing to the Wood Dragon, he did initially tear it up before getting his chakra absorbed. Naruto can also use tailed beast bombs and high density chakra blasts, capable of leveling large areas and vaporizing targets. Naruto, being a perfect Jinchuriki, also is immune to Genjutsu due to his partnership with
Being able to snap him out of it.
Ultimately, any Genjutsu that Hashi uses, like Bringer of Darkness, would be useless. And Naruto may be able to use his connection to wake up Kurama if Hashirama puts him to sleep. All in all, this shapes up to be a pretty interesting matchup.
Very interesting. I thought that was a lot different than I thought it was going to be.
Of Ashura interact more. Just to sum things up once again, Hashirama at the end of the day is one of the strongest shinobi ever, and Naruto had to spend a long time training hard and growing to reach his level, and eventually surpass him. We see a lot of this growth directly through his battles in the war arc, where he goes from being far beneath Hashirama to rivaling him to far exceeding him by the end of the war. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed the video.
That was class, yeah.
To like and subscribe, and have a nice day.
Cool. Yeah, that was not what I expected. That was fun. Yeah, like Naruto only becomes capable of winning like right at the end, which I'm pretty sure I said at the beginning. But yeah, that was fun to see. Like it's nice, it's cool to see the description as well. Like when he describes that the fists from the wood style like statue Buddha thing was so strong that it just break its own fist. It's like what? That's some power. But yeah. Cool. Anyway, thank you to my patrons. If you want to have your name at the end of every video I upload, links in the description to the Patreon page. $1 a month is all that helps support the channel. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you guys very much for that. And thank you all for watching. What do you guys think of that? What do you guys think of this? Click like, subscribe if you haven't already. Leave comments down below. Let me know what I should want to discuss in future videos. And I'll see you guys next time.